working today.
We
Very
do.
excited. I think we're all a little bit more excited because it's Friday. I don't know how we got here. At one point,
I thought it was Friday like 3 days ago. I don't know. My week has been all the way off.
I know. So we're so glad that you could join us as we wrap up this week. We've got a big show for you this Friday. Our Pursuit of Happiness Week wraps up with an all-star roundtable all about bringing joy to your career.
So excited about that. And we're learning how to make your bagels fat. That is PHAT. But first, a few local headlines. It's today's Bird's Eye View.
Chaotic in here. We're going to be good with the resources on this in here.
Breaking right now at 5:30, a local hospital hit after a driver goes right through the front door.
Someone drove a minivan through the front doors of one of the entrances. Jessica, this is really unbelievable.
Really just a question on how this even happened. You can see that minivan clearly damaged from slamming into the building just through the front doors. We know this call came in around 1:30 overnight here along Center Ave, and that van somehow made it past that entryway, breaking past the doors into the hospital about 15 to 20 feet.
It doesn't just imperil the integrity of sports betting markets, it imperils the integrity of sport itself.
Being called one of the biggest gambling conspiracies in American sports history. 26 people charged in a point-shaving scheme in college basketball.
25-year-old Marquise Hastings is best known at RMU for this dramatic overtime buzzer beater in January of 2024.
Here comes the long pass. Hastings with it. Oh! It's up and good!
Today, Hastings was accused of missing shots intentionally in a points-shaving scheme in an indictment handed down by the U.S. Attorney in Philadelphia.
The idea of getting businesses into these spaces is designed to make sure they can be long-term businesses.
While there's always a push to not have dozens of for lease signs hanging in windows, there's a concerted effort now with the draft in a little more than 3 months. Mayor Corey O'Connor has pushed the city to red up for the draft and beyond. The hope is to fill a couple dozen or so before what is expected to be the biggest event in the city's history.
All right, this sounds amazing for the city. And this program, through the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership, could be the push local owners need. Businesses can apply and get a rent subsidy for a year with a multi-year lease. Speaking of our city, think back to the year 2000. Could you have pictured everything that would happen in the next 25 years? Technological advances, a global pandemic, remote work. So what will the next 25 years be like for Pittsburgh? Heather's digging into a recent article that's exploring just that.
Okay, so Mikey, none of us have a crystal ball to see into the future, but maybe that's what makes this article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette so fascinating. As you can see the very top, the headline, what will Pittsburgh look like in 2050? Entertainment, remote work, and tech could steer the future. Yeah, that'll get me to read it. But here's the deal. This wasn't just clickbait. The reporter spoke with a former CMU professor of urban studies, Richard Florida. After the city rebuilt itself from the steel days and smog-filled skies, Eds and Meds, as you know, became the new Pittsburgh. And he says that the trick now, and being cautious, is that keeping the burg affordable is going to be the trick for the next 2 decades. And even as Pittsburgh leans into tech and AI, like the Tech Week that we featured on Talk Pittsburgh, you may remember this just a couple months ago, the report discusses how we can learn from cities like San Francisco and Austin, where tech took off and then took over and made things extremely unaffordable. So the suggestion from Richard Florida and his background in urban studies, he told the PG reporter, Anya Sostek, that we should instead mirror places like Nashville, who instead created an entertainment city, a destination for people to experience. Mikey, I have to tell you, I asked ChatGPT to give me an idea of what that might look like for Pittsburgh. Okay. And again, this is an AI-generated image, so take it for what it's worth. But you can see what it did. It basically created a country-like strip, like Nashville, in the Point. So you can see the fountain in the very corner, and you could see that there is just a row of businesses. The guitar on the side of it looks like the Wyndham. But it created this very much like Nashville entertainment strip right along our waterfront.
Yeah, I thought this is what the 2000s would actually look like in our city. Remember, we were hoping that cars would be flying by this point.
Yeah.
But that is fascinating. It's going to be interesting to see where our city lands in the next 20 years, because I know I travel to so many other cities and I say, like, hey, I think, like, why can't we have this
And we're at a very interesting point for the city, because I think if you remember back to, we've talked about the highs of the restaurants in like the 2015, 2016 era, and we were seeing this explosion of new businesses. The pandemic kind of put a halt to everything. So it's really going to depend on city leadership, county leadership, what we're going to see, I think, in the next couple of years and what they decide to lean into. One of the other points that Richard Florida said is leaning into remote work, which is kind of ironic because if you've been following the news this week, PNC just announced that workers are going to be back full time in the office soon. We're seeing this huge push for that. But his point in all of this is that downtowns don't have to be a place for the office anymore to be vibrant. That they can be entertainment hubs and also livable locations instead of just a place where you go to work.
Absolutely. I used to work for the Visitors Bureau, and at one point, pre-pandemic, downtown was the fastest growing neighborhood in the city, and I would love to see it get back to that point, and I think we're headed in that direction. And I know when I go to other cities, the one thing that attracts me, and for me, is the most fun part of the city oftentimes are the rooftops. Like just the creative rooftop spaces. And it's like, wow, we need more of that here.
So we want to applaud Anya. Thank you so much for bringing this really important topic to us so that we could have this conversation. And we wanted to ask you at home, what do you think Pittsburgh needs to stay relevant for the next 25 years? This was our question of the week, and we got a couple of responses. We're going to get to this one from RC on Facebook. Get Station Square going again. And again, this leans into the entertainment, having an entertainment destination. It's very disappointing seeing almost every place out of business right now.
It really is. Jackie on Facebook says, helping people who are unhoused for whatever reason. We can't call ourselves the most livable city when we have people living on the streets. I so agree with that.
There's a lot of work to be done, I think, for the city of Pittsburgh. But again, I think we're at a good turning point where with some good effort, we're going to see
we're on our way.
Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, baby, it's cold outside. Perfect weekend to stay in and catch the latest streams. We're telling you what's about to drop so you can make your popcorn plans.
And if you're looking for carbs this weekend, a local bagel shop is now open in the booming Bloomfield neighborhood. Boaz takes us inside and samples some of their incredible homemade cream cheeses.
Plus, between the doom scrolling and the daily chaos, staying human can feel like a full-time job. Find out how to reconnect and discover your happiness. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. More Talk Pittsburgh is coming your way. This week, we have talked about finding happiness in friends, food, and by following your passion. But let's make it a little simpler. How do you define happiness?
Yeah, now how do you pursue it? CBS Sunday Morning spoke with Oprah back in 2023 about becoming happier. As always, she gave us something to think about.
Every day, I would sit and talk with the audience, and most people would always just say, well, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. Well, what does that look like? And
define it.
Define
happiness.
Define it. What I realize is that most people have never defined it. And then they'd say, well, I want my kids to be happy. Well, that's your kids, but what do you want?
Yeah, the question is, what do you want?
I want a hot tub.
I know you do. It's going to make you happy.
And inner peace.
I love that.
Okay.
Well, something we all want is a little more sunshine in our lives at this time of the year. But winter doesn't always make it easy, especially with Blue Monday coming up.
I didn't know that there was a name for it, but it is coming. It's the day many consider the gloomiest day of the year, thanks to things like holiday debt and cold gray skies. That's why we're getting ahead of the curve with Jennifer Eisenreich from Shift Show Communication. She is here with strategies to turn the tide and bring some light back into the season. What a good conversation to have, because I think even Oprah saying it, I had to pause and say, oh, wait a minute. I don't know that I've ever actually defined what happiness would mean to me outside of a hot tub. You know?
Happiness is a warm soak.
Yeah, it is. But a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed right now. So how does that affect our ability overall to be happy?
Well, I think a lot of people associate happiness with positivity.
Yes.
And it is part of that. You know, it's singing in the car with the windows down. But happiness is so much more than that. It comes from more of a baseline feeling of security and being steady and being connected to community. So we can still have the positivity. Positivity, of course, it's something that we all need and we want in our lives. But true happiness comes down to something a little bit more quiet and a little bit more baseline.
All right, so where do I start? Like if I'm thinking today, I want to start being happy. What's step one?
Well, number one, it's a decision. We decide to be happy. We can tell our brains what to do. We have to train our brains, because if we don't, our brains will kind of take over for us. But we can find happiness from being kind and being kind is great. We need more of it. But going beyond kindness, it's finding the humanity behind why people may need kindness in the moment, and then going one step further to practicing unexpected humanity. And unexpected humanity is when you're in a moment that could go sideways and you make a decision to move it in a different direction so it has a better outcome.
Jennifer, what do you think about what actually helps people feel better? Like, not in a fake way, but it genuinely feel better. Because I think that so often we're putting these Band-Aids on things. A cup of coffee is going to make me feel better. And you get these 5-minute little bursts of dopamine or whatever, which we talked about earlier this week. But genuinely, how can we feel better?
We can feel better by understanding the things that we have that are going on in our lives that are great. And sometimes we want to focus on our problems and the things that are driving us crazy. And of course, those things matter. And practicing kindness is something that people talk about, but it really goes beyond that. It goes to making a difference where something really matters. And there's so many moments in our life where something happens where we want to be defensive and we want to fight back, and that doesn't make us happy. Even if you win an argument, you're not happier. So finding a way to be the person who does something unexpected in a way that makes things better is really a way that will make you happy. It will just bring you a joy that you can't really describe.
Yeah, I know so many people who are feeling discouraged and disconnected right now. Is there something that they can do to shift that feeling?
Yeah, we're so disconnected even though we're communicating more than ever. But we have too much of everything. We have too much information, too many emotions, too much to do, and that all chips away at our sense of well-being. So pulling that back and doing less, finding the things that really matter to us, spending time with the people who really matter, doing the things that we love to do. I mean, a cup of coffee is great when it's all that we have.
Yeah, right. So maybe it is enough some days.
It could be, yeah.
Maybe it's not just a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. You spread positivity. You bring the happiness to the studio, so thank you.
So happy. All right, to find out more about Shift Show Communication and Jennifer's other work, we'll link you up on our website. And stick around, Jen will be part of our roundtable discussion on finding the happiness in your career. That's coming up later this hour.
Now that we're armed with some tips on getting through Blue Monday, what are we in store for this weekend? How about some sunshine? I know we can't order things, Ron, but that would certainly help.
What about just some spiciness?
Oh, like that? Are we talking about my book?
Yeah, we're going to talk about some spiciness, but we'll keep it PG for you. That's coming up.
Hey, Ron, it was so cold this morning. I had to dress in so many layers. I'm just like, I
How many
barely
layers?
walk.
I feel like this is a joke setup. How many layers, Mikey?
At least 4.
You lost count, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Do you park inside the garage?
I park inside the garage, but it
Okay.
didn't matter. The wind was still whipping through.
What about Joran? Is he a gentleman and he parks outside? Your husband, Joran, is he?
Oh, my husband. Yeah. He parks outside.
What other Joran would I be talking about?
You're
I
right.
don't know.
There's only one.
I don't know if you know today is, I believe it's International Spiciness Day. So we're talking a little bit about the spiciness of the weather. Yeah, I know it's not very spicy at all, but we are look at these lows. I want to call them some spicy lows. That's what I'm finding out. You can just put spicy in front of anything and you can probably raise the cost, like double the cost. So it's just spiciness outside. We're going to be looking at those lows, though, even though I'm having some fun. I do want to make sure that folks are aware. We're going to be down to single digits a couple of times over the next week. There will be a chance for some school delays next Tuesday and on Wednesday because of that. So please be aware of that. We do also have some more snow that's going to be impacting us overnight tonight into Saturday. The impact there when it comes to driving, at least Mikey, is going to be on the low side. So there is that. So what's your favorite? Is it spicy chips? Spicy what? What's the spicy?
You're having a lot of fun with this spicy thing. Like,
Heather
you like
loves
that
the
word.
spicy books.
She likes the spicy books.
She
I
likes
don't know. Spicy snacks.
Okay, all right.
My question is, when are temperatures going to get spicy above freezing?
It's going to be a while. So, in fact, we probably have seen over the last 48 hours the warmest temperatures that we expect to see for the rest of the month. So we're going to be on the cold side the rest of the month. A couple of chances for some snow. So not a lot of spiciness going on there. Maybe we can find some spicy seaweed chips for you.
How about dragons?
I know that's your jam.
Dragons?
Spicy dragons?
Well, I mean.
That could work too.
Probably
Maybe some
they're
vampires?
Spicy dragons, spicy seaweed.
Like vampires,
Yes.
dragons.
Love it all. Thanks,
All right.
Ron. All right. With cold settling in again, if you're looking to snuggle up on the couch with some girl dinner or head to the theaters for a date, we've got you covered. Heather has your popcorn plans, and this week it seems most picks will have us on the edge of our seats.
Oh, yeah, and I was actually really surprised how much was coming out both in theaters and streaming this weekend. It feels like usually we don't see as much this month, but we have been blessed by Hollywood, and we are starting with something that you can stream at home right now. Take a look.
What if the answers you discover hurt more than not knowing?
It's better than sitting in the dark. You're here because you want answers and because you want to get closer to what you really want.
It's all connected. We know how dangerous this guy is. He's probably assassinating hundreds of people a day. Hundreds? We're thinking hundreds. Well, I don't know, but even if it's one, it's like a lot.
Okay, I had no idea that person of no interest is actually what ponies stood for. That's intelligence speak. I am finding everything out. This looks funny, it looks dramatic, it looks a little spicy too, but that's who this whole episode follows, is the ponies, two women who lose their husbands in the USSR. They band together, try to insert themselves into the CIA investigation to help solve the mystery of their husband's death, and a Cold War conspiracy too. The series started streaming yesterday, so you're good to dive in. That one's on Peacock. We got another intense drama for our couch viewing too, and this one pairs up Ben Affleck and Matt Damon once again.
That's a $20 million rip. We gotta be smart right now. We gotta move this money, man.
Stay off the radios, no call outs.
What would you do with this? Just this. Everything.
You heard about the inside heist teams?
Yeah, cops playing robbers.
Need any help tonight, Lieutenant? Nope. We didn't get a heads up about this.
Ooh, very dramatic. This takes place in Miami, and RIP means taking the bad guy stuff. The team finds millions in a house, and it seems like they're finding it hard to resist pocketing it. So who can be trusted? Who's a snitch? And do you take the cash? You'll have to watch The RIP, streaming now on Netflix. Now to the theaters. Watching this trailer, I literally yelped in the newsroom. Alante almost took off running, our producer. It looks horrifying. If that's your genre, buckle up.
Many of the things we take for granted will one day pass away completely.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
When that time comes, men will no longer communicate.
This is a whole lot of nope for me, but for you, maybe, because this is the epic continuation of the 28 Days Later films, the third in the series, and this is 28 years after the second outbreak, if I'm following the path here, following a family who catches zero breaks in this action-packed, post-apocalyptic horror film. Oh, and it's a coming-of-age story, too, because one of the main characters is just 12 years old. His name's Spike. All right, let's switch things up. How about a fun throwback that still has drama and action, but not so gory? We're talking about The Lord of the Rings. It is back in theaters.
What must I do?
The ring must be destroyed. Cast back into the fires of Mount Doom.
I know what hunts you. They're coming.
They will find the ring and kill the one who carries it.
That's right. To celebrate the 25th anniversary of The Lord of the Rings, select theaters are bringing back the trilogy. You'll be able to catch extended editions of The Fellowship of the Ring, Twin Towers, and The Return of the King on the big screen. It looks like there are varying showtimes for each movie at Cinemark and AMC theaters. You'll have to take a look and check it out. And that wraps up your popcorn plans for this weekend. Happy watching.
All right, thanks so much, Heather. Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, that old lipstick, it's not just so 2015, it needs to go. From cleaning out the vanity and makeup bag to knowing how often we should replace things. We're getting expert tips.
And as we wrap up Pursuit of Happiness Week, we are talking with business owners who make it their mission to find joy in their work. What they have to say about happiness through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship.
And we're also talking another kind of dough. Fat Bagel is rolling out this schmear for us, and we can't wait to take a bite.
We are here at
Fat Bagel with Dexter, and you've been around for a couple years, but you just opened your storefront.
Yeah, we just opened 23 days ago. Wow. But who's counting?
Yeah, congratulations. And so this business started in 2023.
Yeah. Well, my brother and I actually in 2005 thought about this idea with like having a bagel shop that you could do like customizable mix-ins.
Yeah.
I kind of just started YouTubing like how to make bagels and just like doing it in my apartment. I would give it to my friends and coworkers, give the bagels away, and I just kind of decided to go for it. And I was like, I'm going to make bagels. And so as I started,
obviously, as you said that, you are making a bagel.
Yeah, we hand roll all of our bagels here. So I did a lot of research on like what it takes to hand roll bagels and to create dough and create a recipe.
Yeah, to work out a special weight regimen to make sure your fingers were strong enough to hand roll them all.
I could start rock climbing.
Yeah. And so talk us through the process of making bagels. We watched a little bit this morning. First, you mix in all the dry ingredients, flour, etc.
Exactly. And then we do separately our wet ingredients. We do water, we use a barley malt syrup.
Which is really sticky and weird looking. It sort of looks like something out of Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's definitely a syrup, a thick syrup. We use that to feed our yeast, to activate our yeast.
Yeah.
And then we add the yeast to it. And after we let our dry ingredients incorporate on the mixer, we start to slowly add our wet ingredients.
And this giant mound of bagel will make how many bagels?
Around 65.
Okay.
Yeah. We roll out all of our bagels, put them on our trays. We use a cornmeal so the bagels don't stick to the tray. And then we put them in our coolers. In the coolers, they sit.
Oh, there's a lot of bagels in there.
So we let them sit and do a cold rise.
For 2 days?
Yeah.
So that's insane. The bagel that you bite into, it's been like over 48 hours.
Yeah, it's been working hard to be good, you know?
Wow, that's wild. And so what are some of the creative mix-ins that you've tried and were successful, and maybe some of the creative mix-ins that were a little too creative?
So some of the creative mix-ins that we've seen that are like a little too creative for my taste are a blueberry and green olive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, someone rocked that on an onion bagel, which was like a little bit weird.
Yeah.
My favorite, I really love like a classic pickled red onion, capers, dill, lox, just like on an everything bagel.
Okay.
That's kind of my jam. We're really known for our breakfast sandwiches too. We serve up some fat breakfast sandwiches. The sausage, egg, and cheese with cheddar is a classic. And then we like to add, we make a house-made candy jalapeno.
Wow.
So add that to some cream cheese and throw that on the sandwich. It's like a sweet, hot bite.
Yeah.
It's really nice. We sell a lot of those too.
And I want to introduce Anna, who's been, quietly cutting bagels over here, who's one of your very good friends who ended up being your business partner.
Exactly. Anna and I have been friends for probably like 15 years. And as I was trying to grow the business, I knew I needed help. Her background is in marketing and in software, and has really helped with pushing our merch line, the Fat Bagel Collection.
Well, it's such fun, branding, and you have so much fun merch. Where did the name Fat Bagel come from? I'll gladly wear it.
So I was trying to think of what, because originally I was well, these customizable spreads, how am I gonna incorporate that into the name?
Right.
And I was throwing around ideas with coworkers at the time, and I was explaining how I want the bagels to be big and fat, so there's a lot of surface area to get the spreads into your mouth.
Yeah, there's room for a lot of cream cheese.
And my buddy, who's from Philly, was we used to call those bagels fat bagels.
Oh.
And I was that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
So then I just added the PHAT just as a little throwback, pretty hot and tasty, and yeah, it kind of just grew from there.
Well, and if people do want to come and get a Fat Bagel here at your new shop, I mean, they should be warned that even though it says your shop is open until 2 p.m., you have never actually had bagels at 2 p.m. They always sell out well before that. This morning they sold out by 10:30.
Yeah, so we've been blessed by having great clientele that are very supportive, and we try to keep the supply in, but we only have so much space, so you can rely on us to be 7 days a week for sure.
Right.
We just do happen to sell out all 7 days.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you want to come by, get here early. What time do you open again?
We open at 5:30 Monday through Friday and 7:30 on the weekends.
Okay, perfect. We'll just get here at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow after you've watched part of the KDK TV morning news, and then, you'll be set. You'll get a bagel.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dexter.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really love having you guys here.
Oh, what I wouldn't give for one of those bagels. They look so good. Well, still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, we all hang on to things way too long. I'm putting my foot down. Heather, that ends today.
Yes, it does. We know the makeup bag has seen better days. No judgment, but we are getting help. Our beauty guru, Marie Miklo, is here to help us tidy up your vanity and your makeup bag. Yeah, she's taking the whole thing. She says it's time to go. And we're also shopping for new makeup, too. That's when Talk Pittsburgh comes right back. Welcome back. Let's get into some good news that has us talking.
Okay, can we take a second to talk about how busy Pittsburgh is right now? Because it feels like every other week we're saying, oh, that's coming too.
Yeah.
Sports fans, we know the NFL draft is coming to Pittsburgh in April, but so is a major MMA event. Nationally televised mixed martial arts is returning to Pittsburgh for the first time in 8 years. The Professional Fighters League is making its Pittsburgh debut this March on Robert Morris University's campus. And here's the local connection everyone's excited about. Newcastle native Dalton Hercules Rasta is on the fight card. Coming off his own viral knockout loss, he's ready to make a statement in front of his hometown crowd.
I put myself in a position where there's a lot of people from my hometown, the Pittsburgh area, and everybody rooting for me. And, I'm gaining some national and global recognition at this point. And it's going to be good to come home and be able to put on a show in front of everybody and bring something like that to the Pittsburgh area.
He says, I want to win at all costs. I want to finish this guy. Pre-sale tickets start January 27th.
Oh, but we are not done because college basketball is also coming too. Pittsburgh is hosting the Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Championship at PPG Paints Arena March 11th through the 15th. This year's tournament is extra special because it's the 50th anniversary of the event. That means teams from all across the A10 conference will be battling it out right here for the league title and an automatic bid for the NCAA tournament. The Dukes, a full member of the Atlantic 10 Conference, took home the championship back in 2024. But our next slam dunk is all about getting a fresh start with our makeup bags, which is what we have right here.
We do. Makeup artist Marie Miklo is here to the rescue. I think we all hang on to things way too long.
Let me in. I like your
come in.
Let me in. You're doing like your walk-up dancing,
yes.
Which is we're all about it.
It's the fight of our life, isn't it?
Why do we do this?
Every morning. Speaking of pursuit of happiness, this should be a place where our happy day can really begin. And sometimes it can get a little stressful.
I have to. Her makeup bag is better than mine. Like this looks good.
She's got the goods, but we got to discuss. I mean, it's
How
easy
many?
to buy them. It's hard to know.
I'm just going to warn you. You're going to find a lot of lip gloss in there. So just be.
She's a lip gloss queen. Please.
Yeah.
Well, so
Heather,
this
show us what you got.
This is my problem is that this side is all varying shades.
They're all the same color.
Because it brings us that really good hit to grab a fresh one.
Did you leave any for anyone else in the store?
They're honestly, they are all the same color. This is these.
There's
go on
nothing
this side.
wrong with that. However, do we need all of this? And let's talk about why. It's not about the stuff. We love to have all the stuff. Is the stuff really serving us?
I feel like this is therapy, and
No
I'm not feeling judged. I will tell you, but it is. I think you see it, and we talked about that dopamine hit before, and you're like,
and makeup's a good one, and it's expensive, so there's like that luxury aspect to it. We're taking care of ourselves. We like that, but at a certain point, sometimes it's not taking care of us anymore. It's not too much stuff. It is how long we keep our stuff. So there's a limit. I know a lot of us don't even think about makeup having an expiration date. It's just like this fun thing. But like a bag of chips, like whatever, the jar of milk that you open, there is a shelf life. Shelf
Where can you
life
find that at?
the conception doesn't start when the product is made. You got to think a lot of these products are made in factories. They sit on shelves for a year, sometimes 2 years. So that expiration date's not necessarily it. On new products, this is something I don't think a lot of people know. There are little jar signs. Inside of the jar, there is a number. That alludes, right down here, that alludes to how many months the product is good for once it's open.
And what does this one say? I feel like my eyes are going.
6 months on this mascara, which honestly, guys, unfortunately, that's generous. I think eye products no longer than 3 months. And I know we say sometimes, oh my God, this mascara is $30, $40. break it down, price per wear. If you're going to keep it for 3 or 4 months, it's $40. Would you spend $10 to
$40
not
mascara. I'm going to keep that bad boy.
You're
Until it runs out.
Mikey, listen.
Well, no, truly.
Listen.
Because I have, you know, this is is it Stila?
Okay, and I'll do you one worse.
And this is $30.
Yeah. Okay, so there's all sorts of little things that live in your eyes. Listen, Heather, every time you put this on, you get this out, you throw it in.
Eye bacteria.
What do you do next?
Put it right back in.
You
and
pump
mix it all in
you
there.
give it more life. You say, bacteria, did you want a little more air? Delicious. Let's toss our eye products after 3 months. Sorry, hate to say that. Second, we're going to move into cream-based products. That's another one. We love cream-based things.
I have this.
They start to create. So that's just constant use, but at a certain point you put it away, you'll see they turn colors. They're a little lighter on the outside than the inside.
Is that mold?
Time to toss. Your stuff's separating.
Oh, it's separating.
Time to toss.
Okay. Yeah,
This
here, let me open this.
Had these for about 5 years. I love these little products. I barely used them. I put them away. I was sad. Smell that.
Yeah, you can smell it.
Disgusting.
You can smell it.
No, don't put that on your face.
I find that with some lipsticks.
If
you
it
can
smells
smell
like
it
a crayon, our first line of defense, you guys, is our smell and our sight. If we see things growing on it, this was another one of my favorites. Cream products get a little bloom on them. It's not just wax bloom products separating, that is mold growing. Don't put it back on your face.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want
Don't nasty. Don't put that on your face.
Because that's how you can get acne and all sorts of
So my
nasty
word
things.
to everyone is less stuff, buy it more often. If you need a little help picking it out, call your girl. We'll go shopping.
I know, I just said I need to go shopping with you. But even you said that you're at fault here too because you are a makeup artist, so you're not buying just for yourself.
No, and I
you're
love
buying
it.
for everyone.
This was the lipstick I wore. We're talking about 2016, 2015. We love to throw back. I got married in 2016. 10 years ago was the last time I used this lipstick. I put it in a jar.
Oh, that's pretty though.
Yeah, there's mold growing on it, Mikey.
Yeah, so we're
throw
not
your
using
stuff
it.
away.
Throw it away.
Wait, really quickly, how many should she have? Like lip glosses?
I'm not going to tell you how many to have. I'm going to tell you not to keep your glosses for more than 6 months or a year because we're mixing our stuff. So it's not about the amount. It's about how long we're keeping it for. Buy your lip glosses, throw them away.
She needs help.
I'll help you, and I'll help you. Call me.
Okay.
If you're interested in checking out, I almost got a number, Marie's Makeup Services, head to our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
All right, still to come on Talk Pittsburgh. We're checking in with Barry Pintar in the newsroom for your first look at the KDKA Evening News.
And can your career actually make you happier? Next, a baker, an Emmy-winning director, and a communication expert share how they found joy through the work they love and how you can too. No, it wasn't the start of a nursery rhyme. This is a real story. We're telling it.
Our pursuit of happiness week is coming to an end with a bang. These passionate creatives call the Pittsburgh area home, and we're so fortunate that they do.
Joining us today to talk about finding happiness through your career, we have Evan Morgan-Newfer, owner of Evanly Bakes in New Kensington.
And Ime Alaquiva, Emmy Award-winning director and president and CEO of Your Mama's House Incorporated. And back with us, Jennifer Eisenreich, speaker and owner of Shift Show Communication. All right, Evan, we're going to start with you. We're so happy to have this incredible panel. So when did you realize that you were on the right path? Because you taught yourself how to bake, right?
Taught myself how to bake. I also said I would never own a bakery. It's a hard business and industry to be a part of when you want to actually have a good return on investment. But I just finally reached a point in my life where I needed to do something where I had full creative control and I could believe in myself and push myself and not have to worry about what those expectations were from someone else in the office space.
I have so much admiration for business owners and entrepreneurs because you really have to take such a gamble on yourself. So just going down the line here, Jen, tell us when you felt like that joy finally clicked in what you were doing for your business.
Yeah, I have always loved speaking, acting, being on stage, and I really felt like the things that I had learned as a principal made me someone who could deliver a message that the world needed to hear.
Oh, absolutely. And Ime, how about you? How did you realize that you were on the right path?
Yes, I mean, I realized that I was on the right path when a certain joy came over storytelling. So in a myriad of ways, whether it was, radio, working for Whammo, whether it was taking photography, crystallizing the human spirit through cinematic and purposeful storytelling is what brings me joy.
Oh, I love that. I can visualize that.
No, seriously.
those words, yes.
Yeah.
And I think with so much, though, we see people when they're successful. You know, we know about your accolades, and all of you are successful business owners. You've done so much, but we don't hear often about the lows, and there has to be a certain amount of pride and joy to dig yourself out of that, to say, you know what, this means so much to me. It brings me so much joy and happiness that I'm going to keep going. Did you find that there were moments like that for each of you? Ime, I'll come to you.
Yeah, when it comes to advocacy and allyship, some of my work, dealt with the deaf community. No one in my family is deaf. We have a new film about Black and brown infant mortality and maternal health. So being able to champion conversations that sometimes are uncomfortable, but putting them in a way that is, comfortable to talk about, brings me a level of joy that I don't get from anything else.
Yeah, and I want to add to that with you, Ime. I mean, at one point, you were living in your car.
I didn't even have a car.
Yeah.
I used to sleep, in, benches, parks. I would, take showers at the YMCA and things of that nature. But, I knew that my ancestors would not be happy with where I was. So, I picked up the phone, called my mom, said, I've been homeless for a while. Help me change my life. She said, why did it take you so long? So now I spend the rest of my life helping others get on their feet. That's what storytelling is about, and that's what happiness and joy is about.
Oh my gosh, so powerful.
Yeah.
For the two of you, have you found your own lows that made you, I mean, both of you have switched careers to lean into what you're doing. So did you find that there was a low where you had to talk to yourself and say, no, I'm going to do this?
Oh, 100%. I remember telling my therapist that I've never worked harder for less money in my life.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she was like, we got to reframe that, because yes, you're working hard, but what are you working towards?
Yeah.
And honestly, we've now been able to coin ourselves as the gayest bakery in Western PA, which has become just kind of a community space for people in New Ken, for people in Westmoreland County, for people in Pittsburgh. And that's what now brings us a lot of joy, makes the long days, the hard days, the days where you don't feel like you accomplished anything worth it.
Well, and let me tell you this, just knowing, I mean, talking with you over the past couple of years, you have helped to kind of champion this smaller town that maybe had seen darker days, and helping by opening a business there. So you've done a lot more than just be successful for yourself, too.
Absolutely. And the community of New Ken's been so great to be behind us, and the other 3 bakeries that are in our town.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about you, Jennifer? Were there any lows that, was there that ultimate low where you found yourself, and how did you get out of that?
For sure. It was very hard to leave a career that I had been a part of for 30 years, and finding the groove after being on a school schedule for so long and then having to just do my own thing was very difficult. I really missed it. But for me, helping people solve people problems is so worth it, and being able to give people the language that they can use to solve problems and to have closer relationships in their life is worth everything.
I do think we're at a really strange time in our country right now, where there's so many things at play right now. AI and technology is advancing, and we don't really know what the future is going to hold for so many different industries. And I think that's created this unsettled feeling for a lot of people who are coming into the workforce, who maybe aren't viewing their job as anything more than a career, something they can find joy in. What would each of you say to somebody who's watching and saying, how am I supposed to find joy in what I'm doing for a living? Ime, what would you say?
Well, I would start out with recognizing the difference between transactional and transformative. Finding, transformative, jobs and things of that nature really helps to take you to the next level. And also, my last thing is that I want people to compartmentalize what partnerships are and what relationships are. Relationships is what gets you through. You can have 50,000 degrees on the wall, but if you don't relate to that person, there's a disconnect, because energy is very real. And that's what I learned. I've never taken a class in photography. I've never taken a class in film. But what I did do is I dove in and I focused on the relationships that are around me, and I encourage others to do the same.
Oh, that's good. What would you say to someone who's scared to start over again, who maybe didn't realize failure was a part of the equation and just doesn't want to step out again on faith? What would you say to them?
It's very difficult to do that, but the joys of having your own business and making things happen for yourself are just absolutely worth it. And if you're not finding joy where you are, you should go find some place where you do, because you're bringing your space down, you're bringing your profession, your job down, and that's not something that you want to do.
I think we have time for one more question. And Evan, I wanted to ask you about what your definition of success is, and has it changed over time?
Absolutely. When I was in college, success was how big was that paycheck going to be? How big could I have a house, or how many cars could I own? For me, success is now having people that come to our shop and share their stories and share in that joy that we provide with our treats as well too. And that
so
to me is the biggest success, is being able to provide community.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yes.
Really good.
All of you. I'm just curious, really quickly, Ime, how has Pittsburgh supported you in bringing joy to your work?
Pittsburgh has supported me in me first recognizing that I can't do this work by myself. You know, when it comes to entrepreneurship and happiness, you have to have a great team that surrounds you. And Pittsburgh has been incredible at surrounding me and allowing me to go outside of these three rivers, but still return with love.
Love it.
Love that.
Thank you all so very much for being here today.
Yes.
Great conversation.
So good. All right, we'll have more information on all of our business owners on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
We'll be right back with a check on the newsroom to see what stories they're working on it for. Thanks so much for being with us on this cold Friday afternoon. More Talk Pittsburgh is coming your way. All right, we're taking a quick jog down to the newsroom to find out what you can expect to see on KDKA TV News at 4, 5, and 6.
Barry Pintar is in there to fill us in on what the news team has been working on today. Barry?
Yeah, good afternoon. Heather and Mikey here are a few of the stories our team has been working on. First, enough is enough, according to city leaders in Latrobe. They say too many people are passing stopped school buses. Up until now, police have randomly escorted buses to and from school, but apparently the police department has received so many complaints that it continues to happen. The department will now escort all buses to and from school. We'll go there and show you what this escorting looks like. Also, let's call it Coach Watch. Multiple sources are saying the Steelers are interviewing a few potential head coach candidates today. We're working to find out who those people might be and what came of those interviews. We'll tell you what we saw and what we found out. Finally, one area in our region had the dubious distinction of having the highest number for violent crime per capita in all of Pennsylvania. That community also said enough is enough, and by way of programs and community outreach events to stop this dangerous trend, listen to this. Last year, 2025, they say they had 0 homicides, from the highest to 0. We went there today to find out what they did to have such a dramatic impact. All that and more starting in just a few minutes on the KDKA newscast.
Barry, I know that you can't give away too much, but are you able to tell us which community that is?
You know what? I can tell you with pride because I was born there. So there's this community called Stowe Rocks, which includes Stowe Township and McKees Rocks. I lived my first year there. My parents were born there. And yeah, you know, over the years, some tough issues, but can you believe it? 0 homicides. I mean, you know, so many people talk about, we're hearing so much about shootings, I'm actually excited. I'll be telling that story tonight. I'm excited to tell it to everybody.
You know, we should also mention, too, at 7 o'clock tonight, the CBS Evening News will be broadcasting from the city of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So really big stuff.
Tony is here, so we're looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thanks, Barry.
All right.
Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, we're wrapping things up with another quick look at your forecast and what we're chatting about for tomorrow's show.